Hi, welcome to SPOTCast. This is David here.
Hi, I'm Audrey.
Well, today follow us through this episode as we are going to dive deep into 3 questions that you should ask yourself if your unit has already attended MOP. Okay, so it's okay, welcome to SPOTCast. This is David.
Hi, I'm Audrey.
Alright, today's episode we are going to deep dive into 3 questions that you have to ask yourself before you actually move once your unit has MOP.
Yes, a lot of people will talk about when your unit has MOP, a lot of people.
Audrey, once your unit MOP, right, what happens?
Even maybe a few months before, people will start knocking on your
Excitement.
door.
You know why
night.
excitement?
Yeah.
Because your door will be knocked by a lot of property agents.
Yes, and then upon MOP, you may find that a lot of neighbors on the same level
Start to sell. You
start
have
to
new
sell
neighbors.
already. Yes.
Okay, and last but not least, you realize that show flat starts to become more interesting because that is when you realize that I have the ability to move and
Yes.
let's go and explore show
I can
flat.
cash out and then move into probably a private property or anything like
Yeah,
that.
but
Yes.
this episode seriously is not about upgrading. It's not about
Buying a condo, buying a EC or even a landed property.
yes. It's really about planning strategy that you should have before you even decide to move.
Correct. That's very, very important.
Yes.
To
So let's
have
dive
plans.
into So let's dive into the first question is what is your end goal?
Yes. I think this is something that a lot of people don't talk about.
Yes.
What about my retirement goals or things like that? Not many. I would say not huge percentage of people will think about retirement
Yes,
at this point of time.
That's why our
Yeah.
water concept come into play, wealth accumulation towards early retirement.
Yes.
And why so? Because what we need is really you have to plan your assets route properly so they can retire early and retire comfortably. And today when we talk about retirement, right, Audrey, does it mean that totally 卖做工了,
I wouldn't think so. I think when we have worked for a long time and suddenly, if you just stop working all of a sudden, then you'll find that life is very boring after a while. Yeah, probably for 1 week, you will find that, okay, it's very nice.
Yeah.
The next week onwards, it will start to get very boring because you don't know what to do. And then when you don't have enough probably cash on hand, savings on hand,
Yes.
then you will find that, oh, okay, I need to do something again.
Yeah. So water concept is really about accumulating your wealth, be it in terms of assets, cash, so that when you want to retire, either say you want to slow down your pace, okay, you realize that you can actually do so.
Yes.
Okay, and that does not mean, I don't want to work anymore, but then you can choose to work in a leisure way.
Yeah, you can do part-time, a
Part-timers,
few days a week. That
you
kind.
have time for your grandchildren, time for your own time, you have time for holiday, and yet you know that you have a steady stream of income that can sustain you throughout your retirement years. And that's what we are looking at. So
Yes.
the end goal is in fact very important. So today when you're buying your next property, or in fact once your HDB MOP, the next step to think of is not to immediately, I want to upgrade.
Correct.
Because when you are hasty in a decision, that will lead you to a FOMO purchase.
That's what a lot of times we see in show flats
Yes.
also.
Okay, so what happens is a lot of people have this condo dream. So today, once my HDB MOP, I realize, my profit is enough, so I can actually move into a condo. But then because your income and your finances is not strong enough, you realize that you are only able to hold on to a condo or private property or even your next move for a short period of time.
So I think there's some questions that you got to clarify, you got to ask yourself first before you actually plan an upgrading journey.
Yes, so that goes into the second question. The second question is your affordability.
That's very, very, very important.
So today when we talk about affordability, it does not mean maxing out your TDSR. Because when you max out your TDSR, a lot of agents are actually telling owners, hey, don't buy car first, don't do this first, don't do that first. Why? Because so that you can maximize your TDSR. So today with a total income of 15,000, your TDSR could be about 8,500. Okay, I have to say you can actually pay a mortgage loan of 8,500. But you got to ask yourself this question.
What about other commitments that I have, which is not included in the TDSR?
Because if you have an gross income of 15,000, for example, 15,000 minus 20% is already 3,000 off, is it?
Yeah.
Yes, 3,000 off, then you are left with 12,000.
Yes.
12,000, you throw in another 5,000 into
a property
mortgage.
Yeah.
You're left with 7K. 7K, you buy a car 2,500, you're left with 5,000 or less. Then
and then if you have children, the kids will need tuition or enrichment classes and things like that.
So it becomes a stress on you. And then what happened is when you realize that, right, you realize that you don't want to hold on to a condo or private property for that long because you want to cash out as fast as possible.
Yeah.
And when you have that thought, and then your property might not even move so fast. Although yes, Singapore property right now is really at its best time to buy.
Yep.
Why so?
Every time is the best time to buy. The best time to buy was yesterday.
Yeah, so today
is the next best time.
Okay,
Yes.
so but back again, okay, if you have not missed out our previous episode, okay, we talk about why Singapore property is likely to increase.
Because the population is going to increase.
Yes, because of population, and then supply is barely enough to keep up with the demand. Okay, that's why you see so far, launches are being snapped up.
Yeah, and if you look at DBS report this year for 2040, yeah, it's a 15 years report.
Yeah, it's a 15-year forecast. Okay,
yes.
Look at this report here. Yeah, so what happened is they actually predicted that property price will increase over 2040. Population will also increase, and following their chart, right, Singapore, the key pillar of growth, right, is actually in real estate.
Yeah.
So today, if you're going to buy some shares, right, probably you can look at developer stocks. Okay, but don't quote me. Okay.
We don't have insider news. But looking at the recent tender for the site at Hougang, yes, it's expected to be at least about 2004-2005 PSF.
Yes. Okay, so if you have missed out, I think DBS and Bloomberg, is it? DBS and
Reuters.
Morgan Stanley. DBS and Morgan Stanley actually forecast in 2030 property price is going to hit 3,000 on average. Okay, and if you look at the property growth over the years, right, I think the price is really trying to reach that 3,000 mark.
We are quite on track.
So we have about 5 more years. Okay, so today if you are looking to buy a private property, definitely is the best time to buy. But of course, you must know what is your affordability. Okay, if today you really cannot afford or you cannot move into a place comfortably with the kind of budget that you have, I would suggest you might think of upgrading to another HDB which is bigger.
Precisely. It doesn't mean that I must upgrade to a condo. And then imagine you yourself probably with your family, 4 people, and then you upgrade to, you go into like a 2-bed 1-bath, for example.
Then it's going to be tight, 4-person 2-bedder. Yes, enough.
Extremely tight.
But then now you must understand that the common room likely can put in a queen size bed, but it will not allow you to put 2 single bed. So your child is going to squeeze, number 1. Okay, number 2, 1 bathroom for 4-person might not be enough. Although just a month ago when we go Suburb, we saw the property, 1 mil for a landed property, pretty nice, pretty
5
big size.
bedrooms and 1 bathroom.
Yeah, but then it's for them, it's definitely not for us, for Singaporeans. Okay, so you really have to look at your affordability.
Correct.
And in our C.L.E.A.R Framework, we identify it clearly because our C stands for clarity.
Yes.
Yeah, you have to be very, very clear about your financial status, okay, your affordability, your sustainability before you even decide to go into a private property.
Yeah, before you even decide which kind of property to go into. With clarity itself.
Yes. So when we are looking at affordability or clarity, right, we have to look at number 1 is your income.
Yep.
Okay. Number 2 is your expenses. And then number 3 is the spare cash that you can throw into a mortgage loan without feeling the strain.
Yeah, you don't want to feel the stress every month after you pay out your commitments, your mortgage loan, and then you find that I don't have much money for this month.
Yes, but of course you have to prioritize, luxury versus needs. Okay, a needs is always a property. And why so? Because, Singapore population has increased, but yet home ownership still remains at 90.8%. And what does this mean? It means that, Singaporeans are buying property based on needs, and this is really important. And that's especially for you also if your HDB is going to MOP soon. I cannot say attend MOP. Okay, it's going to MOP soon. And if your HDB has already MOP for 1 or 2 years or 3 years, and you're still deciding whether to move or not, my suggestion to you is to be very clear. What is your end goal? And then look into your affordability before you actually decide whether you want to move.
Yes.
And in regards of moving, right, what we want to say is, okay, today moving to from a 4-room to a 5-room flat, Audrey, do you think it's not good?
I think it's okay because you're also moving into a bigger space.
Yes.
Probably a better location than what you are staying in now.
Yes.
And then when you when your kids have left the nest, you can actually right size to a smaller unit. You and your spouse, and then less cleaning, and everything like that.
So personally, I feel that this is very important because number one, today if I can actually take another step up, and move into a 5-room flat, or even from a 3-room I move to 4-room, 4-room move to 5-room, 5-room move to EC slowly. You know why? Because it's part of your assets growth. So we call it a step up assets progression. So it does not mean that today from a HDB I must straight away fly into your
condo,
private status or landed.
Landed.
No need to, because why? It's really affordability. You want to make use of the next 5 years to grow your wealth again.
Because in fact, as we work, right? I mean, most people who are employed outside, as you work, there will be increment. Or you have a change of a company or anything like that, there will be more increment. So these are things that we may never know a few years down the road. But these are also, you don't want to just push yourself and go into one
that is too stressful.
That is too stressful for you at this point of time also.
What happens is a lot of people believe in new launch. New launch is definitely the best. And what happens is, new launch at this point of time, for 1.3 mil, probably you can only get you a 1-bedder. 1.5 will get you a 2-bedder. Okay, but then their affordability, max affordability is actually 1.3 mil. Some of buyers, right, after listening to the agent, new launch, right, they will jump into a 1-bedder. Or even they'll jump into a 2-bedder when they have 4 or 5 person in the family.
Correct.
So what
just
happens,
to achieve that condo dream.
Actually, don't need, because you know why? Some resales condo are actually undervalued. And they are big size. For example, a 3-bedder could be costing about 1.6 mil now.
And they have actually room for growth.
Okay, so this is very important. So do not only jump into a new launch just because you think that everybody tell you that new launch is the way to go into. Okay, it's always based on your affordability and your end goal.
And the research work that has to be done actually.
So that goes into our evaluation, the E of our C.L.E.A.R Framework. The evaluation is very important. So today, if you're going to buy any property, be it a HDB, private, landed, alright, the evaluation of property has to be there. And we always look at 3 points. Number one is always the location. Okay, location, though it's important, the next most important one is really the entry price. But the entry price is not as important as the last one, which is the
exit strategy.
Today, so if you buy a property that cannot exit, right, no matter how cheap, it's better not to go into it.
You might have to wait for a long time to exit.
When we say exit, right, cannot exit means it does not mean that I put to sell, I cannot sell. No, it's not like that. But it will take a long.
Any properties I would say in Singapore will sell, but it's just how long you will take to sell.
So you don't want to wait 2 years just for the perfect buyer to come in and buy. So you want to buy an asset, especially if you are still growing your wealth. You want to buy an asset that can be easily accepted by the others, so that you have chance to sell off easily and then move on. So that one is very important.
And then of course finally we reinforce it.
The alignment reinforcement. So reinforcement again goes back to your end goal. What is your end goal? For example, today, let's say for me and Audrey, our end goal is to retire nicely in a not so crowded area but big space. Okay, so without fail, of course, it's nice even to buy a property in JB for your needs. But what are the steps taken to move towards that goal? So that is very important. And the last question you have to ask yourself, which we have mentioned just now, what is my exit plan?
Because it's so important, we put it as a question on its own.
What is your exit plan? Today you buy a property, right? Okay, today let's say you are HDB MOP, you decided I can buy a condo. Or your HDB MOP, your property is actually 5 years old. And then based on affordability, okay, you are in a 3-room flat, you want to have a 5-room, you go and buy something that is 45 years old. Then you want to exit next time, not easy. Okay, so this has to be your biggest consideration. Correct.
It's not saying that 45 years old HDB cannot buy. But there is a lot of like what we say, that we need to evaluate it properly.
I have to say, when next time you want to sell, who is your target audience? Okay, the youngsters will not be able to buy.
Does it appeal to anybody in the market or not?
So today, it's always nice to be prudent and do not be greedy in the sense that, I must buy as big as possible. No. In fact, it's something that you must be comfortable with and nothing that is really too old. unless you are waiting for en bloc. But at this point of time, because of burst, I don't think there's any more en bloc in the market.
Yeah, we are not sure until 2030 when it finally is implemented.
Yes. So the way to make decision is never to do guesswork. So what we do is, to be very, very safe so that you want to buy something that can be exit easily.
Correct.
I used to say, today when you are buying a condo, okay, don't go into a very outskirt area and try to buy a one-bedder.
Yeah.
Because why? A one-bedder in the outskirt area might not appeal to the younger generation. It's not that one-bedder cannot sell, one-bedder can sell.
Yeah.
But it must be in the right location, right position, right price. Okay, that's number one. For two-bedder, okay, it could be anywhere, but then if you can get something that is more comfortable, the size is right, I think it appeals to more.
Yeah. I would say, like what we mentioned earlier, four people staying in a 2-bed 1-bath, it might not work.
Yeah, might not work
that well. But if you are talking about 2-bed 1-bath in like central area, it might work.
Yes,
because professionals will want to be able to
for the convenience.
For the convenience, I want to stay alone, but I need another room for my wardrobe.
Yeah,
that kind of thing. Yeah.
Exactly. So today, the most important thing to note is this. Okay, if your HDB has actually attended, if your HDB has actually MOP or about to MOP, or you are actually a HDB owner and thinking to move or not to move, okay, ask yourself the above 3 questions. So if not, follow us through, subscribe to our video, subscribe to our channel. And I'm Audrey. And I'm David. I'm
Audrey.
Alright, see you again next episode.
See you. Bye.